Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing a model that was originally launched in 2018 and actually won the 2019 GPHG Calendar and Astronomy Award. This is the warmly received Hermes Arceau L'Heure de la Lune, and the watch in white gold with meteorite dial is a limited edition of 85 pieces. So the timepiece measures 43 millimeters in diameter in white gold, surprisingly svelte, at 13.3 millimeters thick from lug to lug, and it is an unconventional lug to lug measurement. Note it's asymmetrical, but it's 46 millimeters across the wrist with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. It has a good weight to it. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it's actually nicely shaped to fit underneath the cuff, and it will fit underneath the cuff. But being as narrow as it is across the wrist, you could absolutely wear this on a 14 centimeter circumference wrist. The only thing that would prevent me from wearing it on a smaller wrist still, it's not the lug-to-lug dimension, it's just the weight of it. And it is a visually massive watch, as it has a lot of presence. I would even say it borders on overpowering. It makes a very strong statement. Here we have a large rectangular scale alligator leather in dark gray. We have a grace stitch that's built in. We have a profile on the side that's shear cut to show you the layers of leather. And then this is a Hermes strap made in France. It is buttery smooth on the bottom where it's calfskin. You can see it's been neither crimped nor gouged. It's a Hermes factory strap in outstanding condition. Now what we have here is a twin trigger release white gold deployant clasp. This is here to protect against dropping your large and expensive complicated Hermes watch, and it does a good job of that. It's a handsome look, and the design of the buckle echoes the design of the Arceau lugs. The case itself features a large and prominent bezel, and the case actually tucks away underneath the bezel, so when you look at it from the top, all you see are the upper lugs and the crown. Everything's in high polish. There's a little pusher adjuster on the side. That allows you to adjust the phase of the moon without changing the date, and I'll show you why you need that in a moment. We have a simple Hermes branded crown, and the watch is 30 meters water resistant with a push-down crown. Now, when this watch came out in 2018, everyone instantly loved it. There were a couple of versions then, and there have been a couple of versions since. So let's jump straight into what you're getting here. The watch has a handsome Sahara meteorite dial base. So if you look at the base, it is actually iron that has been oxidized and stabilized to create a Widmanstatten pattern. So the base of the dial is meteorite. It's not moonstone. You might be inclined to think that because we have the image of the moon here for the north and the south, but it is meteorite. Now, the moons themselves, again, they might look like they're meteorite or moonstone, but they're actually mother of pearl. And then the dials are lacquered, and they have a little bit of a gradient to them, so they're brighter at the center and darker at the edge, with a lovely custom typeface devised specifically for this model. And you can see there's a lovely sort of off-center displacement of the numerals. Every single one of them is placed semi-tangential to the curve of the dial. You can also see that the numerals have a lovely and subtle contrast with the dial base. Now, this is a very deep dial, and I'll show you why. We have a Hermes caliber 1837 on the reverse side. That's the year Hermes was created. Twin mainspring barrels, 50-hour power reserve, automatic winded, built by Vaucher, which Hermes owns in part as a large stakeholder. So it is a Vaucher movement, automatic winding with a 50-hour power reserve. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and it has a free-sprung architecture. Though the watch does not have a seconds hand, it does feature a hacking seconds function. The watch, which pivots on 28 joules, is adjusted in the high horology and chronometer standard of 5 positions. You can see there is a customization of this movement. There's the Vaucher star on the base plate, so you know where it comes from, but there's also a lovely satination, engine turning on the base plate, the repetitive Hermes motif across the bridges. There's a handsome polished bevel, and then black polished screws with satination on the wheels. So it's a good looking movement, but the real highlight here is the complication module, which is driven by the Hermes base, but the module is built by Chronode, or it was designed by Chronode for Hermes. It is a 14 joule movement with 117 parts in its own right, and as the watch advances, through the days, we actually have both phases of the moon. And I'm going to demonstrate how this works because the best way to do it is just use the quick set. We have both the northern and southern hemisphere moon phase. Note that the date advances as I am changing the phase of the moon. Also note that in all instances, the dials remain vertically oriented as they move around, so they're still intuitive to read. Now, once again, if you want to adjust the moon phase without adjusting the date, you simply trigger it using the pusher on the side. Okay, a few more details here. If you take a quick look at the mother of pearl moon at the top, you could see what appears to be the image of Pegasus in the mother of pearl. And that's exactly what we're looking at. This is based on the full moon, pleine lune, by Dmitry Rybelchenko. And that painting inspires this work in mother of pearl. I wish I could get a little bit closer, and maybe I can with the zoom, but you can easily see the image of Pegasus, the winged horse, rampant with two hooves off the ground on the southern moon phase disk. So there is a lot of nuance to this watch. And again, it's a GPHG winner. Reach out to Tim Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Hermes Arceau Le de la Lune.